Hi, everybody. This is Jeffrey. This is Ripecolor, and I am here. Yay! I I'm a little under the weather, and last night I couldn't really sleep well. So, excuse me. Last night I couldn't really sleep well. I'm a little bit stuffed up, and it's a little bit in my chest, a little bit in my head. Um, Hello, visitor. And I was walking on the street. I was like, let me get some sunshine because I couldn't really sleep really well last night. So I was like, let me get some sunshine before it rains. And I'm walking and I was like, yeah, I think I need some money. So I go to the bank and it doesn't work, but sometimes the Mexican banks don't work. And then I go to another bank next door and that doesn't work either. And it's like, my card has been blocked. I bought a computer yesterday. Nancy Jean and her daughter helped me buy a computer. And we Zoomed and anyway, so that was blocked. I'm blocked. So I was like, I think that's the message. Um, Hi, Marge. How's the weather in Iowa? I heard Iowa is like one of the most beautiful states in the nation. I've never been. I've never really been to the Midwest. I've been to the coasts. I've been to Texas. I've been to the South, but I've never really been to the Midwest. I've flown over it. Anyway, I'm a little bit stuck. So this is what I feel is going on because usually what's going on with me is what is part of the message. So it's like there's something stuck that's going to be released over this new moon season. So within the next 2 weeks. Very interesting. Very interesting. Because you can hear it in my voice, you know. It's very hot. Thank God the weather here. The only consistent thing here is the weather, honestly. Um, I mean, it's going to rain tonight. It rains every night. Oh, hi, Sonia. Hi, Sonia. um, so anyway, I think that for this new moon, there's something stuck that's going to be unstuck. And it's interesting because it's a new moon in Cancer. And Cancer is really the mother. Cancer is the home. Cancer is family. And Cancer is emotion. Cancer is emotion. So I feel like there's something that's going to become unstuck because I have one of those things. It's like I don't have what because otherwise I think it would be a lot more serious. But when you have a dry one, you just have to keep on drinking water until it comes out. That's what you have to do. You just have to keep on adding the water until it comes out. So there's no other, and it takes as long as it takes. It's sort of like, if you're using a plunger, it's like you got to plunge, plunge, plunge until the plunger finally gives in, and it's like, oh, I think everything's moving now. So I call the bank. This is the best because I know you're going to love this, right? So I call the bank on the street. I'm like, you blocked my card. What was your last transaction? I said, oh, well, I don't know. I said, I know I bought a computer for like $1,500. And it's like, well, if you don't have the exact thing, it's like, okay. So I went back to the apartment. I, disturbed my little walk. I came back to the apartment. I had some of my delicious fruit. And then I called the bank. I'm like, well, you made a call. You just called. So, we can't do anything. It's like, so I hung up on her face. And then I called my personal bank. Thank God I have the number, right? And said, would you unblock this, please? So it's going to take what it takes. You're going to have to keep on working at it. I think that's the energy. It's like, okay, keep on working at it. Keep on working at it. So it's interesting because I always see the opposite signs as a whole. So it's the Capricorn Cancer thing. And Cancer is really like in their emotions, how they feel. It's mommy. And then Capricorn is really daddy. And it's like, we got to wait for daddy to get home so we can unclog the toilet or something. Because Capricorn has that energy of being steadfast and being reliable and, getting to its goal. So very interesting. right? How that, right? Sometimes you got to call them the opposite to make a whole uh, composite, so to speak. Things that are sweet taste better with something that's sour because they play off each other in a way, right? So I feel like there's something stuck that's going to be released or opened up. And I think it's emotional. I think that's what's going on. But meanwhile, I get to sound like Barbara Stanwyck, darling. My favorite. She's my favorite. Anyway, I'm going to start the reading, but I got to get some water. Give me 2 seconds. I'm sorry. I had some and I drank the whole thing. So here we go. And then these things, I have black ones that used to work better, but they're like, it's like there's a lot of that going on, but it's okay. We get through it. It's like, some days there are like days like that. And it's like, I got to get through this. So I'm getting through it. Hang on a second, 2 seconds. I promise I'll be right back. In Mexico, you have to buy your own water because the water from the faucet you can't drink. And I stayed at one apartment that was very luxurious, that they had the filtered water, but it tasted awful. It really tasted awful. All right. Okay, I have my water. It's awful. I can barely smoke. I would love to smoke when I'm on camera, but like YouTube doesn't like that. All right. So I'm going to do a reading for the new moon in Cancer, which is, I looked it up. What was it? I think it was 9:52 New York time. I think it was 9:52 New York. So that's 8:52 Central, 7:52 Mountain, 6:52 West Coast, I guess. Yeah. All right. People seem to like when I do the live, so here we are. Here we are, darling. And I hope everybody's well. And this might have to do with what's going on in the United States. Like there's something stuck, and that's got to be, plunged, so to speak, and to move. And I really, really feel there's like an emotional component to it. I really do, because it's cancer, it's water, and sometimes you'll see these coincidences in your life, and it's like, oh well, these three areas have something in common. And I think that's what's going on. And you know what? It's a process. It's like you don't just snap your fingers and it's done, And, I've been working really hard on my YouTube station. I've been making thumbnails like crazy. And I did it all day yesterday. I went back and I redid some of my old videos, all the Tarot Tuesdays I redid. And I've been doing the weeklies and this and that. I'm working on thumbnails to make people, more people click. And, it was like, I can't do that anymore today. I need to take a little break. So that was my break. That was my break. My break was, well, your bank card isn't working and la, la, la. And the other thing I wanted to say is that this Sunday, both Nancy Jean and I kind of like my voice like this, to tell you the truth. Both Nancy Jean and I are going to be on Scott Allen, what's it called? Spiritual Essence, is that what it's called? He does like a coffee thing on Sunday morning. I can't believe how early I have to wake up, darlings. Well, I'm lucky to have all of you here. I'm lucky to have all of you here, in all honesty. Super sultry, darling. Do you remember? Barbara Stanwyck is my favorite. My favorite. So there's this at the end of Double Indemnity, which is one of her best movies. She has that blonde wig, and she's such a seductress. She's so cruel. She's so heartless. And she goes, "I'm rotten, Walter, rotten to the core." You gotta watch that movie. And the other one is there's another one where she's a gun mall and she's on the lam, right? And because her boyfriend is some big, mobster, and she hides out with all these guys who are writing an encyclopedia, right? And they're all like these old dudes. And then Gregory Peck is one of them. Oh my God, what a fabulous movie that is! I think that's Bowl of Fire. I think that's Bowl of Fire. Another fabulous movie. Oh my God. Stanwyck's such an underrated actress. We always talk about Betty Davis and Joan Crawford and Greta Garbo, and I got to tell you, for me, Stanwyck, oh, because she's always like that hard boiled, you know, broad, like with the heart of gold. She's my favorite, and she's from Brooklyn. There you go. All right, so let's see what's going on for the collective for this new moon in Cancer. And in 2 weeks, everything's going to be all clear and lovely. My hair is going to be all grown out. Maybe I'll do my nails again. All right. And I'm moving. I'm moving from this apartment to another one. I'm moving to another part of the city. We'll see. All right. Let's see. Uno, dos, tres. Very nice. Okay. We begin with the three. So the three has an expansive vision. He sees things. It's a three. It's creative. And he's going after something new. He's going after something new. It's almost like this is the next phase. This is my next move. And he's high on the hill, so he has like a 360 view. He sees the whole picture. He has like a long-term view. Excuse me. And he's waiting for his ships to come in. It's like a little mini wish card. Something is like a little gift is going to come. Maybe more than a little gift, because we have the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is all the aces are beginnings, and the new moons are always beginnings. And I think the Ace of Cups to me, well, first of all the aces I feel like they're gifts from spirit, because there's these weird hands floating around. It's like you're walking down the street and there's a weird hand floating around. What is that? There's no other cards are like that. And like the ace, it's like this. It's almost like the hand of spirit, like giving you a gift. And the gift that's being offered is the gift of intuition, the gift of a full heart, the gift of healing. That's what's going on. I mean, if you look, it's really, I always feel like I have to put on my glasses, but I know what the cards look like. I don't have to put on my glasses. It's the Holy Spirit coming down and like overflowing. It's overflowing. And the way I've been describing this card lately is like this. It's like a spiritual mist. It's like you go out early in the morning. It's like a commercial. You go out early in the morning, and I'm going to turn the phone off because you know how it goes. It's like you go out early in the morning, and this beautiful mountain, gorgeous dew falls upon you, and it heals you. Like that. It's as simple as that. So it's not like you even have to do anything. All you have to do is allow it. All you got to do is allow it. All right, I got to turn the phone off because you know how it goes. If you hear dogs barking and people, trying to get the garbage, don't be surprised. All right. Then I have the lovely King of Cups. So he's my favorite king. Hi, Vivian. God bless. God bless everyone. So the King of Cups is really this very interesting guy. He's a soft king. He's the soft king because he's sitting in trouble, right? He knows what it is. He knows all about it. He knows about emotional turmoil. He knows all about being disappointed. He knows about tears. He knows all about it. He knows all about it. And he's sitting there Like he's in the middle of the storm. He's in the middle of the storm, and he's as serene could be. He's in the middle of it, and he's in his center, and he's offering healing, and he's offering a gift, and he's offering a listening ear. He has tremendous and profound, deep compassion. Deep compassion. He's an empath. He's compassionate. He listens. You could tell him anything. And sometimes, in a certain way, it's almost like he's almost a loving father. He's like the loving father. It's like, I have something and I don't really feel sure about something, or I'm really distraught about something. He just listens. He's empathic. He understands. He's almost like he has that energy of I read palms too. So when you read palms, there's a certain, like underneath, this is, all right, let me think. This is Mercury, this is the Sun, this is Saturn, this is Jupiter. So underneath the Jupiter finger, which is a pointer finger, sometimes it's very rare, but you'll get these like little things, and that's called the Seal of Solomon. And the Seal of Solomon means somebody who really understands people emotionally. They have this profound emotional intelligence, really know where people are coming from, and like feeling it and understanding it in a way that a lot of people don't. So there's this energy of tremendous empathy coming through. And I think the empathy is for oneself and for others. Really interesting beginning, especially for a Cancer new moon. And this is interesting. So this is the 10. The 10 in this, so the 10, this card is really about dynasty. It's about family money. It could be a corporation. It's intergenerational. So sometimes it's interesting, there might be a surprise. What I'm getting is there might be a surprise from like a generation you don't usually interact with. There might be, sometimes you think, oh, well, they're so young, they don't know anything, or, and it's like, oh, there's something to be gained from all generations, from all different pieces of the pie. I don't know how else to say it. Okay, so a lot of times with this card, I always say, there was a gift and you didn't take it. There's a gift here. There's an offering. Because I have it here, I have it 3 times already. So it's almost like I feel like there's a healing or an intuition or something that is coming toward you. And, initially you're going to be like, I don't want it. But I think you should take it. Because the gift is your soul. The gift is the light. Hi, Seascape. Dang that job. Yeah, I know. Dang. I love that word. Dang. Gosh darn it. I just this week at Tarot Tuesdays, I did a whole conversation about this card. This card is so profound. And this morning I was thinking, I think about cards. It's what I think about. So if you look really closely in this card, it's really hard to see in this one. It's really hard to see. There's a 6-pointed star, right? So this is about being by oneself. Hi, Tammy. This is about being by oneself and, kind of isolating and digging deep into the knowledge of one's own light, of one's own soul, of one's own purpose, of one's own joy, of one's own direction. And, it's part of the Godhead. It's not separate from the Godhead. It exists within us. We're physical bodies in this incarnation for right now, but we've all been here before. We're all coming back. Oh, maybe I should take a little water, darling. I don't think it's going to make a difference. All right. So the six-pointed star, the six-pointed star. Okay, I don't know if I can draw this. Let me see. Hmm, 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 hmm. Well, that's kind of a crappy drawing. Boy, what a crappy drawing. Okay. The six-pointed star is really the energy of us reaching up to spirit. That's the fire energy, the assertive, right? So think of it as a pyramid with three sides, okay? And then the Godhead coming down to meet us because we asked for the help because we live in a free will zone. So that coming down, I know a lot about symbology, don't I? So that coming down and then them meeting. And what happens is that's called the Merkaba. The Merkaba is a sacred geometry form of a, a three-sided pyramid coming down and a three-sided pyramid going up and forming, right? And like the heart of the matter is the heart of the matter. And the understanding is like the Kabbalistic understanding. This is one of the things that I think Ezekiel saw in his vision, and that is the chariot. Because Merkabah means movement, it means trans, it means, Rakevet in Hebrew is the train. Merkabah, it's the same root. It's our soul is the chariot through the heavens, through the realms. You see? Some heavy information today. Hi, Tebow. Hi, Sharon. So I think that's the gift that's being offered. The gift that's being offered is to like listen to oneself, cherish oneself, empathize with oneself, right? This is the gift from the Godhead. Wow, right? And maybe the messages can come from anywhere intergenerationally. Very interesting. You could be watching some kids show and be like, oh, wow, I never thought of it like that. And that's the gift that's offered that's going to lead towards stability. And here you are. Wow, lovely. So, darlings, all the energy it's going to move through us. Okay, lovely. And please check out Tarot Tuesdays, right? Because I did an in-depth on this one, an in-depth with strawberry with Sharon Lee from Strawberry Rhubarb, like the pie. All right, that's this week's. And check out the weeklies, the monthlies. I put up all the monthlies. Okay, yeah, giving and receiving, being part of a community, being brought back into balance, understanding that giving is receiving, receiving is giving, right? Understanding of being in the flow of I'm not just giving all of myself, I'm also receiving. And I always think of Cancer as like on the shore, right? And it's like sometimes it's underwater, sometimes it's on the shore, sometimes it's underwater, it's like it's flow. It's ebb and flow and ebb and flow. Um, Hi, Jeffrey. Thank you. Okay, so moving right along, darlings. Look, we have the angel of healing. We have the angel of healing. This is Raphael incarnate. And this is, about, what this is about? This is like, he's like the alchemist, right? So that understanding, like the profound understanding of alchemy. So it was about turning lead into gold. It was about turning these heavy things, right? Lead is the heaviest of the metals. It's about turning these heavy things into something lighter. It's about taking the elements of like the good part and the bad part, boiling down to their essence, and then combining them to make something new. And really, what the alchemists were about wasn't about turning lead into gold. It was really about turning that heavy, that weird stuff that we're carrying around, emotionally, physically, da da da, and boiling it down to its essence and introducing light into it. and using it as experience, right? And using it as, you know, sometimes like, oh, well, I wish things were different in the past. It's like, but if things were different in the past, you wouldn't be here now, you know? So it's like, it's about combining them and making them into like the healing elixir, making them into the healing elixir. I hope I said hello to everybody. I think I did. All right. This is lovely. This is lovely. There's a real transformation going on. I think this is, this is for everybody. The end of a way of thinking. I really like this card, actually. I really like this card. The iconography is kind of fantastic. I mean, a little dark, but like the colors are great. It's the end of the way of thinking. It's like, just doesn't work anymore. I can't think like that anymore. I can't entertain that anymore. And we do have two tens, interestingly. We have two tens. So there's a big ending coming, and we have one ace. So, right? An emotional balance being reached, an emotional gift, right? A healing gift through the end of something. So something is definitely going to be released. Now, should I show you the cards? I did set it up a little bit. I'm going to show you the cards, darlings. The U.S. needs rain. I heard it's going to rain in southern New Mexico. A lot of my fans are from the Southwest. So someone wrote today on my thing that the monsoon rains are coming to southern New Mexico. And Monterrey in Mexico, which is a big city, like 5 million people, they're like rationing water. They've been in drought for years. It's a mess. Look. Okay. And now I'm going to move forward. Another 10. Wow. There's a lot that's going to be end. Like in this next 2 weeks, there's a lot that you're going to be done with. You're just going to be done with. It doesn't work. It doesn't fit. It doesn't jive. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't interest you. Like, I think there's a tremendous shedding. And if you hear from the beginning of the video, there's a lot that's stuck in my throat, in my head, my credit card. I was like, okay, do a video, because otherwise I would have had to sit and make more thumbnails. And I made so many thumbnails yesterday, I can't even tell you. Hi, Sheila. Yeah, you know what I always go with this card? This is so interesting. This is a 9. So this is such a funny card. 9 is attainment, but it's also, there's like a line in the sand. There's only so far I'm willing to go. And I always get with this card, what was that Martha and the Vandellas song? Nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. I love Martha and the Vandellas, my favorite girl group from that era. All right, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. And there's an energy in this card of I'm surrounded, and it's like he's at this point in the battle, right? He's, I should do a food blog. Oh, I know. Would they pay me to go to like really expensive restaurants? Excuse me, darlings. There's this energy of, I always get this energy in this one of like, he's in this point in the battle, and you know how sometimes in your life moves. It's like almost right before you fall down the stairs, you could see yourself falling down the stairs. And it's like everything seems to move in slow motion, something like that. There's like everything seems to move in slow motion. So all of a sudden, I'm really getting the view of the whole lay of the land. And it's because of that, it's like I'm going to make a decision of should I stay or should I go? Should I continue this battle, right? Or have I learned my lesson? Like that's what I always get from that card. I think you're going to be done. I think you're going to be done because I get this as done. I get, oh, this is done. This is done. Interesting. I sound like Harvey Firestein, but I'm thinner. That wasn't a very nice thing to say. I keep on forgetting shockwave. You know what it is? It rains here at night. At night, it rains almost every night, so there's no. Yeah, and beginning something new, learning something new, receiving a gift, and again, receiving a gift, illumination. I feel like there's this, just like I said in the very beginning of the video, there's something that is going to be released. You know, maybe in 2 weeks, I'm going to sound like a songbird. You ever watch those Jeanette McDonald? I really am an old queen. You ever watch those Jeanette McDonald and Nelson Eddy movies? Yes, I'm still in Mexico. Yeah, there's a real shedding. There's a real shedding of energy, of of things that don't work, of things that have like they're it's almost like they're past. You know how sometimes you go through your closet and you look at something and it's like, I haven't worn this in how many years? Or there's a hole in it. Like, what am I hanging on to it for? There's a hole in it. Throw it away. Hi, Josephine. Look at what we got. It's a second angel, by the way. There's a lot of spiritual information coming through, and there's a lot of like hearing the calling of what no longer works and what I need to shed and what doesn't fit anymore and what doesn't serve me and what. So this is a fascinating card. It's a fascinating card. It's the second to last card in the deck, and you know, in the big ones. So it's Judgment. I always feel like it's double Wheel of Fortune because it's XX, right? So there's an energy here of, okay, of being reborn, of a resurrection, not dying, but just being reborn. It's like your soul is reborn. And, you know, it's like, it's almost like what they call a walk-in, right? It's like I have this new understanding. I have this new appreciation. I have this new outlook. I have this new everything because my lesson has been learned. My lesson has been learned and I've incorporated it. I've incorporated the lesson. And now I understand what went down, what it was there to serve me as. And now, because I've incorporated it and I've gone through whatever I had to go through with it, whether it be financial or emotional or familial or business or whatever, now that I've incorporated this, I can actually be born again and be free again and be. And the other thing about this card, there's a lot going on with this card. I always understand the cross here. So the cross is a much, much more ancient symbol than Christianity. And the cross really symbolizes the union of the spiritual, the vertical, and the horizontal. The horizontal is this plane we are living on, right? The material plane, the earth plane. And it's the union of those, right? That combination of you know, understanding the spiritual on the material plane, understanding the material on the as it relates to the spiritual plane. So there's this profound understanding. And the other thing about this is, you know, I talked about intuition here. I mean, all the cups really are intuition. And here, ay, Dios mío. Here's Gabriel. Gabriel's the messenger. Gabriel has a message. Gabriel has a message. It's like, oh, now that I've cleared this out, I have room in my head to hear things. Now that I've cleared this out, there's like, you know, it's like I'm going to hear a new calling or a new understanding, right? Because Gabriel shows up and tells Mary, you're pregnant, girl. Gabriel shows up. I really believe Gabriel is one of the angels in Abraham and Lot, the Sodom and Gomorrah story. But also Gabriel shows up for Muhammad, right? And just basically orates the Quran to him. And Gabriel actually in Hebrew means strength of the Lord, by the way. All right. And then I'm going to, let's see. Oh, look, a new foundation. The This one's also intuitive. This one's also intuitive. This one, it's like, it's hierarchy, right? It's tradition, it's ritual, it's anything with columns. That's how I always describe it. So it's like the law, medicine as an environment, the government, religion, marriage, blah, 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 blah. But my understanding of this one, so this is the Pope. It's about ethics. It's about morals. It's really about the hierarchy of heaven coming through the third eye of the Pope, and then the Pope mimicking the hierarchy of heaven on the earth and organizing it in a spiritual manner, right? So because all this old stuff is going, right? And now that okay, let's go back. Un momento. I didn't mess up the cards today. It's a miracle. The energy level, I love the energy here. It's I can't. I'll get into the energy here after the reading. Okay. The energy here is so earth-based. Very earth-based. It's very. I feel much more attached to the earth here than I do in the United States. How else to say it? It's past life stuff for me. It's got to be, because like the first time I came here, it's like you belong here, and I do. Okay. So I don't know. You can't see everything. So it goes. All right. Look, look, look. All right. New opportunities for healing and intuition. Maybe messages from intergenerational. The gift again. Excuse me. The gift again. Digging deep into one's own light, one's own soul, right? And understanding it as part of the cosmos. Community, balance, a healing, the end of a way of thinking, the end, this might be the end of it's like, it's time to shed stuff. It's time to shed stuff. Then, this slow motion lookabout, which, sort of in a way relates to him. Well, it is a 9 as well. These are both 9s. New opportunities, your lesson learned, and now, because your lesson is learned, and because you have a deeper understanding, and because you've made room, because you got rid of all this stuff, and because you've been healed, and you accepted the gift, and listened to your intuition, and, are be able to be a diplomat, this is who comes through. Somebody who's going to build a new foundation in your own personal life. Oh, wow. Here she is. Isis. Here we go. Isis is really about paying attention to your dreams. It's really about paying attention to your dreams. Really about paying attention to your intuition, because it's like the secrets and the understanding are there. You just have to sit still long enough and allow them to be revealed. Because she only reveals when she wants to reveal. The other thing about Isis, Mexico City is surrounded by mountains. It's basically a bowl surrounded by volcanoes, surrounded by mountains completely, volcanoes. Fascinating. That's why the fruit is so amazing. So this is, and it's like 7,000 feet above sea level. So, some people have the altitude thing. I don't so much. But it's the pollution. This is more than pollution though. What's going on with me, darling? Okay, so this is about new fertility. This is about divine feminine wisdom. This is about really the understanding and the secret. This really relates in a lot of ways to this one, because he's combining the energy. So is she. So is she. I'm sorry about the lighting. So is she. This is, Isis is the great mother goddess. She's like a combination really of Venus and Demeter she's fertility, and she's the secret, and she's the loving mother. She's all of those things. She's all of those things. She's like the mother goddess of all mother goddesses. She really is. And then that story of Isis is so fantastic. So Isis and Osiris are brother and sister, husband and wife. You know, they were a little kinky. Anyway, Osiris's evil brother is Set. Oh, hi! I've been talking this. Hi, strawberry rhubarb. So the strawberry rhubarb is Sharon, and we did a reading on the Hermit together on Tarot Tuesdays, which I must say I'm very, very proud of the series. I'm very grateful that I started it. I think there's so much information there. So please go watch it. Watch all of them, every single one. Popcorn, you know. You can put it on hold. You can put it on pause. Go back. Anyway, Isis. So anyway, the long and short of it is Set gets cut into him. Set cuts Osiris into a million pieces, and Isis is super distraught. And I think it's 13 pieces. And she finds all the pieces. She puts them together. She can't find a sex organ. An important part. So she makes one. She makes one. You know. Now that is a goddess. And then she sits on it. It really is quite kinky. And she gives birth to the three, right? It's the energy of the triplicate god in a way. And she gives birth to Horus, who is the sun. Sun, both. Profound. So it's really, I'm getting a lot of this. Pay attention to your intuition, pay attention to the messages you're getting. There's a lot of healing there, there's a lot of energy there, and there's a lot of, like, I don't know, progress. And I have three tens. I have three tens. So it's like, thank you. I think it's a great series too. So this is a very beautiful season. It's a very beautiful season. And I think, you know, I'm going to clear up, and then my voice won't sound like this. And then I'll sound like, I don't know, who should I sound like? Rudy Valley? Porky Pig? But it was like I was stuck physically, like my voice and my head, and the situation I told you about in the beginning. And it's like, you just keep moving forward. It's kind of like, how, like, if you're walking by like a fence and you sort of get stuck. It's summer. It's where I'm in the northern hemisphere. Um, uh, you get stuck. You just got to keep on, and then eventually it gives away. It gives way, right? And it's like, oh, now I have a hole in my shirt. Then throw away the shirt, put on a new one. Rudy Valley, wasn't that a good one? I know. So there's a real energy of, like, a lot of spiritual information coming through, a lot of healing information coming through, and the end of things that no longer work. And I don't even feel like it's going to be like burning bridges and slamming doors and I hate you and I've hated you for 30 years. You're finally getting your due. I don't think it's going to be like that. It's too bad, because I like a little drama, just a little. Um, but it's just going to slide away. It's just going to slip away. It's just going to slip away. And if you need to take action toward getting rid of things that no longer make sense, that no longer fit who you are or who you're becoming, then just get rid of them. It doesn't have to be a confinement drama. Just get rid of them. And bring yourself more into balance. And because there's nothing to hang on to. There's nothing to hang on to. I feel, you know what it feels like? It feels like, you know how, silk, um, really, I'm a queen. It just slides. It just slides away. It just slides away, right? Cotton, linen, wool, they don't, they, they sort of hang on a little bit. This is like, it just slides away.